Coming up, MTV Movies meets Jeff Goldblum and the cast of Jurassic World Dominion.
We have an off-screen and prior deep
Romance?
I didn't mean it.
Oh, we doing another one? Okay. When's my massage?
It could be like that, a raptor riding a horse. it could happen. The possibilities are endless over here.
I'll be like, no, done. Part of the food chain. Have to oblige. Hello and welcome to MTV Movies, where we are talking all things Jurassic World with me, Hannah Flint, and our very own T-Rex, Mr. Tyler West.
Rah.
Rah, rah.
That was like a cool T-Rex. I tried to come through cool. Didn't quite cut it. First up, Hannah went to meet the stars of Jurassic World Dominion. Here's how they got on.
I want to do a fun game first because I feel like it's not a Jurassic movie if no one doesn't get eaten by a dinosaur. So I want to test your knowledge.
I like tests. Let's think of it as a game.
It's
I don't like
game.
a test. The idea of a
game.
test I don't like,
Okay.
but games of all kinds I do like.
Dennis Nedry, how did he die?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Dilophosaurus. Being spit.
Yeah.
I believe I do know. I don't want to be, if I don't, it's going to be pathetic.
He gets the, what is that creature? It's Dilophosaurus.
Yes.
He gets sprayed and he just gets...
He has one of the best deaths.
He does have the
Ever.
best death.
Because he's like rude to the dinosaur and
Yeah.
then the dinosaur eats him. It's just like great.
You
Very
just don't mess
satisfying.
with dinosaurs. I feel
You
like all these
deserve
films-
that.
That's like, you're like, what's the theme? Don't mess with that.
Yeah. Well, this guy, definitely, Eli Mills, how did he die?
I have no idea.
You're like, wait?
He was it stomped on?
He was torn in half and eaten by a T-Rex.
What?
Yeah. Well, this is another one. How did Ray Arnold get killed?
Wait a minute. Oh,
Sam
the great
Jackson.
Ray Arnold. That's the character's name. Sam Jackson is, of course.
Well, his arm was pulled off his body, and we would imagine that he was eaten by a velociraptor.
It's a trick question. Very good on you, because none of us know, because he dies off screen, I think is the correct answer. And Ellie Sattler, as she's putting on the juice again, goes, "Oh, Mr. Arnold, your hand," and then sees that his whole arm has been severed by, we don't know what.
I refuse to acknowledge that he's dead.
I agree, and I've had this discussion with
Okay,
him, and he's
okay.
like, "I'm still on the
Thank you.
island. Are we clear?"
Yeah.
And I was like, 100%.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
good.
It sounds like you guys got on so well. How is it shooting it? Was it easy to kind of slip back into it, or how is it joining this universe with all these original gangsters on set?
Trippy, in a word. Trippy.
It was hallucinogenic almost. I'd seen a couple of his movies, and when we were together,
Just
everything
lost
got
his
brighter.
eyes.
Well, I wanted to ask, because on a scale of 1 to Tom Cruise, how much running did you have to do in this one?
I mean, I could tell you that these movies require quite a bit of conditioning. You know what I mean? You know you will be running. And not to mention, not only does it require conditioning, but even on top of that, I would still do takes and be like, "Again, y'all want another one?" Like, I trained for over a year and I was still like, "Oh, we doing another one? Okay, all right, cool. When's my massage?"
I do not run like Tom Cruise in this movie because only Tom Cruise runs like Tom Cruise. But there is a lot of running, and it's something that I genuinely enjoy when I'm doing a movie. And when it's no longer physically possible for me to do it, there's a wonderful lady named Sarah Laughlin, and she runs, and she's got a heck of a gait.
Yeah. More to come from the cast soon.
Right, Jurassic World Dominion. This is the 6th installment of the Jurassic franchise, with our first being like Jurassic Park way back in 1993. Now, I wasn't around, but do you remember how iconic it was?
Yeah, I think I was like 5 maybe, and sitting in a cinema and just having my little tiny brain blown. I mean, we'd never seen anything like it before. Like those dinosaurs, we didn't have that sort of special effects, visual effects technology. It was wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's an upgrade from Barney, can't lie. And then obviously across the times now, if you look back to like the iconic moments that actually happened in that first movie, when they first saw the dinosaur, what dinosaur was it?
Diplodocus.
There you go. It's like we were actually there with them, and it's still iconic to this day.
And, soon after, our guy sat in the toilet, tried to hide.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine touching cloth and then all of a sudden you get chomped down by a dinosaur. It happens.
I know for a fact I would not survive in a dinosaur movie. Like, I feel like all these films, like, you're not outrunning a raptor.
No.
I'll be like, no, done. Part of the food chain. Happy to oblige. Happy to
Fingers
continue.
spread. Fingers spread trying to outrun a raptor. It's not happening. Now, Jurassic World Dominion, talk to me about it.
This is the conclusion for the Jurassic era. This cinematic era, not that
No,
concluded
not that
like 64 million years ago. But it unites two generations for the first time. As we said, the OGs, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill are back. But this takes place 4 years after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. That's the Jurassic World actual park. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. What could possibly go wrong? This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creatures. Apex predators, is that what we are?
I don't know. When I get on the dance floor on a Friday night, whew, yeah, ain't stopping me. I'm apex predator. You know what I mean?
I think that's what they call apex peacocking.
It is exciting though that the two eras coming together. Like in those films, it was like classic dinosaurs now meeting new dinosaurs. Where do you think it would wrap up and go?
Well, I think with the new dinosaurs, it's funny because the newer ones are more accurate to how the dinosaurs actually were. So in the original Jurassic Park films, the absence of feathers on a lot of these dinosaurs was quite obvious to a lot of scientists. Are like, that's just not archaeological accuracy there. So I reckon they've got like we've seen from the trailer, there's a lot more, there's like a Pyroraptor that's got good plumage.
Yeah. I mean, don't sleep on these creatures. Remember what happens in Planet of the Apes? Apes together, strong, and then all of a sudden my man's running on like horseback down the road. Yeah. It could be like that, a raptor riding a horse coming up. Do you know what I mean? It could happen. The possibilities are endless over here. Here's how it went when Hannah caught up with the Dominion cast.
So apparently Spielberg gave you a full-size Velociraptor. Is the rumours true?
Yes, he's more than generous. And if I didn't have enough from just the experience, without any physical, I don't need memorabilia, but leave it to him to give us some beautiful, well, Stan Winston had made these Oscar-winning creations, and Dennis Muren, they brought the whole bringing dinosaurs to life to a whole new level and special effects. But yes, I have that dinosaur.
These are giant creatures. Yeah. That's what I think is so magnificent about the Jurassic franchise is that it shows us how small and insignificant and powerless we are against nature. And so, it takes a lot to take out a dinosaur. I remember watching Jurassic Park the first time and being like, the science is sound. Like, it really makes sense. And in part, that's because Michael Crichton, who created Jurassic Park, was a scientist. And so it's, the logic of it really tracks, as much as possible. I'm sure that a professional scientist could poke a million holes in anything. But that's something that I really appreciate about this franchise is how thoughtful the world building is as it pertains to the technology and the science and genetic power.
Well, if the whole thing had gone well, yeah, that's right. No, the conflict is created because those guys of ignorance and motivated by profit take the beautiful accomplishment of science and try to subvert it.
Too much.
And it brings out the best in generations to come.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, I have to ask, because I feel like Ian Malcolm has a commitment to a look, an aesthetic, because he only wears black and he loves an unbuttoned. So tell me how you imagine his wardrobe is.
And what'd you say, 1 or 2 buttons?
He always is always accidentally, my chest. Oh, look at
tried
that,
it on set.
accidentally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, oh golly, what happened to my shoulder strap? I believe I've lost another.
And what were you going for? What's your goal? What's Ramsey all about? What's his clothing story?
Yeah, well, we went through a ton of options, but I figured, I wanted something professional, but also something of the moment.
Yeah.
Or a little bit ahead of the moment.
He is the moment.
Yeah, he made the moment. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, we ended up in that look, and I also wanted something similar to Mr. Goldblum's character. I mean, obviously it's different, but there's some homage to it there, just like the kind of structure of it.
We never talked about it, but that's very brilliant because in the movie, I don't want to spoil anything, unbeknownst to some of your cohorts, And to the audience, so I don't want to
This
spoil
is a
it.
spoiler.
We have
This is a spoiler.
an off-screen and prior deep
Romance.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Maybe we do. That's a good idea.
I just like the fact that your character, she's gone on such a journey from I'm wearing heels. Oh look, I'm in boots. It's like now it's like, yo, I will fight to the death.
Yeah, she's a mom now, so she's like absolutely fierce, and the stakes are sky high. So yeah.
So, Jeff Goldblum, we can't not encourage more viewing of him. And from my experience interviewing him, he just came out with some just extraordinary off-the-cuff comments. We've wrapped it up into some golden Goldblum moments. Just sit back, relax, and let the Goldblum wash over you.
Right.
You are so delightful. What's your whole name?
Hannah Flint.
Hannah Flint?
Yeah.
That's a great name. I wish my name was Hannah Flint. Another shirt.
I love he's a Southern Belle.
Is that?
Yes, they just see. Well, that's how I wanted to do it. They keep telling me, Mr. Spielberg and Colin
know.
said, forget the accent. Roy Orbison or Johnny Cash or Zorro was a hero of mine when I was a kid. Richard Boone on a show called Paladin when I was a kid. Have gun will travel reads the card of a man. I'm seeing another movie that spins off into something very
Maybe we do.
delightful and
I like it.
sensual.
What a
He
great
did provide
character.
you with several movies, so
What a
there you
great
go. That
character.
one little move gave you a whole franchise.
I like it, and especially when my clothes are removed somehow accidentally. Forget we had this conversation. I want you to be surprised I may bequeath it to you. I know exactly, 'cause I was there. But do you have a notion? Good question. Or you ever see those movies El Topo? And one day there you may find a knock at your door and something left on the doorstep. Don't be frightened. It's only a replica.
Right.
Alejandro Jodorowsky. Yes.
Sure,
So you know.
Wait.
Yes.
What did you ask him?
Is he all right? What was in his white mug back there? He was off on one.
Yeah, in the words of When Harry Met Sally, I'll have what he's having.
Yeah. And that is all from us at MTV Movies. Please share your thoughts below, click subscribe, and we'll see you back here again very soon. Maybe it's just the power coming back on.